In the wake of the Las Vegas shooting, the mainstream media has turned its full power against the alternative media, especially the alternative media on YouTube, with Advertising Age reporting that false flag videos about Las Vegas pop up on YouTube, lamenting that that's the case, saying that Google has and will continue to need to refine its algorithms to prevent conspiracy theories from rising to the top of search results. And on October 4th, the New York Times published this article, "No, there was not more than one gunman in the Las Vegas shooting." The article claims, quote, "A familiar pattern often emerges as the authorities investigate a mass shooting, speculation in online forums that one person couldn't have possibly committed this act alone." The author claims that Stephen Paddock, who killed at least 58, was the only gunman. And the author cites Assistant Sheriff Todd Fasulo of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police, who says, quote, "I want to emphasize we believe Paddock is solely responsible for this heinous act. We are aware of the rumors outside of the media and also on social media that there was more than one assailant. We have no information or evidence to support that theory or that rumor. We believe there was only one shooter, and that was Stephen Paddock." Based on what you're about to see, that statement from Assistant Sheriff Todd Fasulo should leave you completely dumbfounded. So now let's turn our attention to alt media research, which strongly indicates that there were multiple gunmen in this attack. We'll begin with eyewitness testimony. An Australian man who was staying in the room right next door to the alleged shooter, Stephen Paddock, at Mandalay Bay has confirmed he witnessed multiple gunmen in the attack. Quote, "There were multiple people dead and multiple shooters," Brian Hodge told Australia's Courier Mail. Next, we have this eyewitness testimony from a couple who was at the Bellagio Hotel bar when gunfire erupted on the main floor of that hotel.
"I don't know what happened at the other hotels. All I know is what happened here at the Bellagio, because this is where Daniel and I were. And when the shots came firing in through the front door of the lobby and the mass chaos and stampede was when I was under the table and Daniel was on top of me, and until the security came back over and started screaming, 'Everybody get to the back.'"
Everyone started to get up to run. They just kept shooting, and it's like literally like 5 minutes of just shooting, and people just kept dropping. And it was definitely someone on the ground. Definitely, most definitely. The way they herded the crowd and all of us, and then they kept coming. They even came into the back staff parking lot and shot people out there too. So they just kept coming. How much shooting was going on and them not being taken down, and like I said, there's definitely someone on the ground. It wasn't that, okay, let's all leave and now it's okay. No, we all started running and they came in. That's why there's no humanly possible way that guy, that was the only shooter.
Now, certainly in the midst of events like this one, eyewitnesses can be confused, but are we to dismiss out of hand entirely the police scanner recordings indicating multiple shooters?
"We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the whereabouts."
Control, be advised, shots are coming from gate 7. Gate 7, shots are coming from gate 7.
We're getting from civilians saying that there might have been 3 shooters.
We just spoke with security at Mandalay Bay. They're saying they have shots fired on 29 and 32nd levels.
It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapons.
Control 224 IC, confirming I have casualties at Alibaba and Giles east of the Catholic Shrine, as well as in the Mandalay Bay. So we have 2 scenes.
Control 35 SE, we got possible reports of shots fired inside New York.
We're getting a 415A. The advisor was a shooter at the front desk. In reference to 415A at New York, they're advising the active shooters possibly coming down the escalator from New York to Excalibur.
Control 374, I got medics reporting that they're getting shot at in Tropicana.
And just be advised now, there's an active shooter at the Tropicana.
There's one WMA in black fatigues in a white RV off of Cobalt and Tropicana, south up. Control 8 Mary 63, we're going to put a shotgun facing the RV that the suspect is supposed to be in. It's going to be behind the Clark County Fire Department engine.
And just be advised now, we're getting shots fired at Caesars and the Bellagio.
And then there's the audio analysis of the gunfire, which clearly indicate at least 2 different weapons firing from 2 different locations.
There's like 2 shots and then like 6 more shots. Very distant. Now, there's no, and this is a continuous roll. They're not stopping and starting the recording. There's no present recording. There's just this distant thing. And it does sound different than the echo. So here's a distant shot. And here's the echo. Here's the very present shot. There's the echo. No present shot, just a distant shot. And you think, okay.
Now it sounds like it's coming from.
Now even the driver is saying this is from a long ways away. And then right as they're talking here,
farther away.
There's another very distant either echo or recording. But now what's important to see, you could see where the person's parked. The driver is parked. And she doesn't leave. She doesn't leave. She's in the same spot. She's in the same spot. And then here's the distant recording. The distant shot. And now we have a 13-shot burst, roughly. Very close range.
Now it sounds like it's coming from farther away.
Now, as for the flashes coming from the 4th floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, which have been largely dismissed as strobes and quote-unquote debunked as not being gunfire because there were no broken windows, Bill Steele is reporting that he was contacted by a window installer who claims to have been involved in the installation of the windows at Mandalay Bay, and this person says the windows are removable if you know how to do it.
New information came in overnight that I can't ignore, and it's caused me to reassess the possibilities of a second gunman on the 4th floor, and I do try to correct my mistakes. 2 different viewers sent me 2 different photos of the Mandalay Bay on a sunny day with multiple windows pulled out from the inside. I can't find the email, but earlier in the week a window installer wrote in saying he had installed these windows and said that it's easy to take them out for cleaning if you know how to do it. In light of the windows being removable, there are several troubling questions. There was police scanner traffic asking officers to investigate a possible second shooter on the 4th floor of the Mandalay Bay. Who responded? What did they see?
Units now advising no force probe teams into Mandalay Bay. There's possibly another suspect on the 4th floor.
Here is the video some kids took of the shooting. They were at about this location. There are 72 shots in this volley, with a 2/3 of a second pause in the middle, not enough time to put in a new clip.
And now for the benefit of the New York Times, we would like to cover just a few more anomalies. Number 1, the brother of alleged shooter Stephen Paddock on day 1 said he and his family were dumbfounded that his brother could have possibly been involved in anything like this because he wasn't even a gun guy.
Not an avid gun guy at all. The fact that he had those kind of weapons is just... Where the hell did he get automatic weapons? He has no military background or anything like that.
And just a day later, his opinion changed 180 degrees, saying Steve did this all by himself.
People are saying, oh, he must have had help. Steve had no help. Steve didn't take help. It did not take a village for Steve. Steve was an I'm sorry. Please don't. Steve was an I'm sorry. Please don't. I'm using a colloquial I was about to use a colloquial term that would besmudge one of the armed forces.
Now you may be asking yourself, the only way he could know that for certain is if he had pre-knowledge. So did he implicate himself as being involved with that statement?
Steve had no help. Steve didn't take help.
Or was he told to say it? And just as troubling, independent investigator Laura Loomer is reporting that Mandalay Bay has deleted the entire record of Stephen Paddock's stay at the hotel. The reservations, his name, it's all gone. And further reports that records indicated that Stephen Paddock checked in on September 25th with a guest 3 full days before authorities say he checked in. The official story is the check-in date was September 28th. And also troubling is this fact: MGM management distributed an internal memo to its employees encouraging donations via a gift program, donations that would go to the ADL, the Southern Poverty Law Center, and among others, the CARE Foundation, a known terrorist organization. Given the MGM's enthusiasm for the ADL and the SPLC, one wonders if ex-CIA agent Robert Steele was right when he recently made this claim about the shooting.
Number one, Las Vegas is absolutely a false flag event. Whether people died or not, this has been concocted by the Zio-Cons, by the deep state. This is something in which Sheldon Adelson, who owns the casinos in the area where it happened, and Michael Chertoff, the Zionist first director of the Department of Homeland Security, are in a co-conspiracy with others.
As the New York Times and the gatekeeping mainstream media continue to obfuscate the truth and cover up the evidence of multiple shooters in this false flag operation, it's no wonder more and more people are turning to the alternative media, the truth media, for real news 24/7. And you can rely on us at sgtreport.com for the antidote to corporate propaganda. Thanks for listening.
They're using these events to justify the shift. Never let a good crisis go to waste, even if you have to create that crisis to justify what you want to do next.